So here for you is a little taster of the beginner's yoga featuring Fen, he wants to be in it. It's going to be 20 minutes, half an hour. I want to remind you that whatever issues or problems you have within your body, you listen to your body, you don't push yourself too far. So you should feel what you're doing, but it shouldn't be painful or really uncomfortable. If you're worried about kind of any things that are going on with yourself, message me first and we can obviously talk about those and make sure that you're doing the things that are correct for you. So we're going to attempt to do this with Fen. We're going to lie down on our backs first of all, and all we're going to do is probably get licked to death by a dog. Excuse me, Fen. We're going to come down onto our backs and just bring our knees into our chest. And you're either going to have your hands over your shins or knees, or just under the thighs there, and just tuck them in just to where it's comfortable, and just gently rock from side to side, or circle the knees. So we're just gently easing into the back, into the spine before we begin. And also remember, you're not trying to do everything that I'm doing. It's very individual practice as yoga. So you're doing what is right for yourself and your own body, okay? And then just easing through the hips, rotating the knees apart together, just a few times in each direction, so then around the other way. Okay? And then we're going to bring the knees to the centre and just very gently curl up. So again, just to where is right for you. Hug the knees in and just lift up, just gently stretching through the spine. And then again, just relax your head back down. So feet are coming down to the floor, hip width apart. And we're just going to take the right leg up. So if you're really tight in the backs and thighs, which I used to be, you can always use a strap, some form of strap. So it can be anything you've got at home, it doesn't have to be a yoga strap. A dressing gown strap, a tie, a dog lead, a towel, and you can just pop your foot in the strap then, so you kind of have, if you're down here, it's much easier for you to reach. If it's really uncomfortable the back of the knee, bend the knee. And we're just bringing that leg in enough just to feel the stretch in the back of the thigh, not so much that you're shaking and really uncomfortable. If you are using a strap, make sure not to pull down on it, but to lift the leg up. So you almost imagine you're lifting out from the hip and then just using the strap to bring the leg in. Okay, I'm not going to bombard you too much with the breath for now. If you're new to yoga, it's quite a lot to think about what you're doing and when and how you're breathing. But using the breath all of the time, each time you breathe out, you're trying to release any tension and relax as much as you can. Okay? So then from there, if you've got the strap, just take the strap away. Hang on to it if you've got a dog that might steal it. That leg is then going to cross over the other. So the left leg is crossed over. We're nice and relaxed with that leg. Then try to take the arms level with the shoulders. Now if that is uncomfortable, just bring them down closer by your side. And then from there, just gently drop the knees to the left, just to wherever you can, without the shoulder coming up from the floor. So if you are quite tight in the upper body, it's likely as you come over this shoulder will lift. Find a point where you can hold it, keep that shoulder down. And then if you want to, you should have had these things nearby. You can get cushions and things, cushions or blocks, so whatever you have, just by your side. So that if you want to relax onto something but the floor's too far, you've got something there to put the knees on. And you can have 2 or 3 if you want to, buttocks if you're at home. Then we're trying to really relax the lower body, okay? So it is nice if you can rest onto something. So this top thigh, try and relax. Be aware of your lower back. You're probably holding onto the lower back. So as you breathe out, try to allow yourself to let go. And soften into the chest and shoulders. So breathe into it, deep breaths. Relaxing as much as you can as you breathe out. If it is comfortable, let down the other arm, the right arm. If not, just keep your head looking up. Doesn't matter where your head is too much at the minute. And then we're just going to gently come back to the centre, uncross the legs, bring the knees back up. So again, just hold wherever's comfortable and gently curl up. Again, just to stretch through the spine. And then back down. So right foot's coming down with the bent knee, left leg is coming up. Use your strap or your whatever if you prefer. So I generally feel quite tight. It probably would be nicer to use something to relax that leg into. Some people don't like holding on to it. That is absolutely fine. There goes the cushion. So either hold the back of your thigh or calf, but not behind the knee. So always be aware of the back of your knee. Again, if it's comfortable, we can bend the knee, but keep it straight if it's okay for you. Ease off if you need to, so if you're really shaking, don't come in too far. I used to shake like a leaf when I first did these stretches because my hamstrings were very, very tight when I first did yoga. And again, deep breaths, really trying to relax as you breathe out and hope that the cushion's not being eaten by a fen. So then again, we're going to cross that leg over, relax that leg. So arms are coming out even level with the shoulders, so not higher, we're not coming up, but down closer if that is uncomfortable. And then we're just going to tip the legs to the right, just wherever we can, without this left arm or left shoulder coming up. So again, if it's comfortable, bring that arm down if it's comfortable. If it's uncomfortable, that arm can come down right by your side if you need to. Rest the knees onto a cushion if your dog's just not wandered off with it. And then really try and relax that left hip and thigh. Again, be aware of the lower back. So generally we're often really holding on the lower back because we're worried that something's going to happen if we let go. So all that is going to happen if you let go is that you will feel more comfortable as you release into it. So you just find the right position for yourself. And if you're just up here, that is absolutely fine. If it's okay to come further, then obviously you can. And you can look to the left if that feels okay for your neck. And then again, just gently come back up. Uncross the legs. The knees are coming back into the chest. And again, whichever way is comfortable, we're going to curl up, hold for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, again, you're just going to rock from side to side. Do that for a minute while I retrieve my cushion. Thanks, Ed. It's coming back in to steal something else. So this can generally be how the online classes go. Right, so we're still on our backs, everybody. We'll wedge that in there. Thank you. So you're going to bring the knees back down. I thought it would be fun for playing to come today. So again, we're hip width with our feet. So feet, knees and hips all in line with each other. We're going to come up into a bridge, okay? So your arms are down. I might just bear with everybody, bear with. If you come to the yoga, it's not like this. Fen's not allowed in. And I did ban him from the online classes actually because he was a little bit disturbing, but it's fun. So our arms are down right by our side and the palms are pressing down into the floor or stroking the dog. And then you're going to just tip the hips. You're going to press your lower back down to the floor. So that just starts to lift the buttocks. You're going to breathe naturally, press into your feet and just slowly lift your spine up off the floor. Okay, so again, just to where it's comfortable. Still trying to keep that alignment with the knees and the hips. If your knees hurt, you're going to just edge the feet forward. Okay, so again, find that right position for yourself. And as well as pushing through the hips, just lift up through the chest. Just breathe naturally. Head stays looking up. I know it's a bit difficult when you're trying to watch on a screen. And if you can get the hips and chest quite high, just try and edge the shoulders underneath. Push the chest up and just try and touch the knee. Don't worry if they're not, you can keep them down. And breathe. And then one vertebrae at a time, just slowly lower yourself back down. Don't just drop the hips straight down to the floor. It's very exciting being more back to yoga, isn't it, Ben? Then when you're down, we're coming back up into that position, knees to chest. When you are ready, curl up. Head to knees, knees towards you. Release. Come onto one side and onto your hands and knees, okay? So if you want a hard floor, it's hard on your knees, you can fold your mats over or put something extra padding underneath underneath the knees, okay? Same if you're really uncomfortable with your wrist. You can do it in a fist, which will keep your wrist straight, or you can use a rolled up towel or something to put the hands just on the front of, doesn't really work, it's too rolled up, so that you're not at quite such a strong angle in the wrist. You can get yoga wedges and things like that, but a towel would be better, just because it's a bit more squishy. So knees are hip width, hands are shoulder width, and we always keep a very slight bend in the elbows. So what tends to happen here, everyone fully straightens, and that's forward in your elbows. Ben's taking up my security tape now, which tells you where to put your mat when you're here. That bend in the elbow should be pointing across the opposite corner of your mat. I might have to get rid of these. We'll just put a new bit of tape down. So this is your cat stretches. Breathe naturally. So again, this is very annoying, isn't it? Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ben. We might have to redo this video, honestly. So, here we are. We are going to breathe naturally for this. I'm not confusing you too much with the breath, but do not hold your breath. Tuck the tailbone in, work up through the spine, push through the shoulder blades, and tuck the chin in, and then just gently lower back down. Just look forward and really push the tailbone and the hips up, so we drop the back there. And then again, we're going to tuck in first, work up through the spine, push through the shoulder blades, chin in, not too far. And then again, gently coming back down. Keep that slight bend in your elbows. Push the hips up. And then do that once more. Tuck up. Push through the shoulder blades, chin in. Ben's a bit bored because he's not been out for a walk yet today. And then gently back down. Okay, so then we're just going to breathe naturally. Back flat. Sit back to your heels. So don't worry again if you don't reach back to the heels. If you're tight in the thighs, you might not get there. If you want to, you can pop a cushion on the heels and sit back onto that, which would be more comfortable. And then just take the arms forward, walk the fingers forward, push the hips back. Really, really lengthen as much as you can. Chin tucked in. Again, don't overstretch, find that comfortable position. And then just release and come back up to your hands and knees. Dare I put this cushion next to me? That will get still in next. Fingers are going to be spread nice and wide here. And you press your fingertips and the backs of the knuckles down, so we're not taking all the weight into the wrist. You use the whole part of your hands. We either come into a downward dog. So your toes come down to the floor. We're going to lift through the hips, push the hips up high, and then roll your heels down as much as you can. So if you're quite tight, the heels will probably be quite high. Mine spent a lot of time up in the air. It took me a couple of years to get the heels down. So again, you can always put something there. I generally don't because it's a bit of a faff with too much stuff. But if you want to, you can try it with something underneath the heels. If you're not happy here, just drop the knees and sit back and relax for a few breaths, okay? If you're happy to stay there and you are really tight in the calves and ankles, and we always are a bit in the mornings, you bend one knee, the opposite heel comes down, and we take a couple of breaths. And then over to the other side. So we're just treading through the heels. So we lift, our heel comes down to the floor, and then we swap over. Breathe, remember to breathe, everybody, all of the time. Trying to keep the chin tucked in, so we're not looking forward, we want to keep the neck and the head loose. And then from here, you're going to walk your feet to your hands to your feet, and just relax over the legs. Ease into your wrists, roll them around. Hold your elbows. So again, don't worry if you're up here. You don't have to be all the way down here, it just happens to be where I am. And we're just going to gently turn the upper body, not just the arms. We come across, left elbow in front of your right knee. If the backs of your knees are really uncomfortable, bend them slightly. And then over to the other side. So you don't have to come all the way across. You're going to find the position that feels right for you. Here it is again, treble is back. Leave it. Thank you, fan. Then to the centre. Now we're going to unfold our arms. This is how you always will come up to stand. We don't roll up, okay? We use our legs and not our back, and it also gives a chance for your blood to come back and you not get a head rush. So you bend the knees and drop your hips. You lift your head and chest. When you feel ready, press into your feet. And then breathe in as you push down and lift up, all the way up. And then breathe out. Take the arms down. Roll the shoulders. And the other way. And then we all are on our feet. And we'll just put the mat away that the dog is eating. This is carnage, isn't it? This is the fun of yoga at home. Right, so now, another concern often of people is they can't get their arms up. If you're really tight in the shoulder area, it's really hard to get the arms up. Oh, Fen, honestly, I'm going to have to shut him out in a minute because it's a nightmare. Is it relaxing for you, everybody? So don't worry if you can't, just go to where you can. So your feet in line with the hips, okay? Toes forward and not out to the side. And you just roll the feet slightly to the outside edges so you're not caving it in with the feet and the knees. Tucking the tailbone in. So when I say tuck the tailbone in, we just tip very slightly with the hips, okay? Not pushing forward, not pushing back. So we're just in that neutral position at the centre. Clasp the fingers together if it's comfortable. If not, you can just kind of hold one hand in the other. Palms push away, knees are soft. So slight bend in the knees. Breathe in and lift up. And then breathe out, lean to one side. So again, not too far. Find a comfortable position. Try not to tip forward. So you can just stay up and go from there. We're going to keep the tailbone tucked in. And then that shoulder that's coming over, just ease it back but push the hip forward. Shoulder back, hip forward. That will just help to keep you centred. And we're gently going to lift and come over to the other side. If it's more comfortable, you can just keep one arm down, or you can just keep your hand on your hip and just gently lean over from there. Okay, so it's always what is right for you, not trying to do what I'm doing or what everybody else is doing. If you're at home, you can't see them anyway. Breathe when you're there, don't hold the breath. Keep the knees slightly bent. And then just gently come back up, release the arms. Roll the shoulders, we want to stay loose in the shoulders, other way. And then just bend the knees slightly, tuck the tailbone, lean and lean, just forward gently, not too far. So we just ease it into the lower back there. I have a feeling I'm going to re-record this because without Fen, but we'll see, bless him. Right, back up, we heard his name mentioned. So we're going to do a triangle. I'm going to do one where we don't come into it too far, okay, because that can be off-putting if you're new. So we're just going to bring the feet apart just to where it's comfortable. Your right leg is going to go right out to the side. So you rotate from the hip and turn that leg out. The toes are pointing out to the side. The left heel, we're just going to try and ease it back slightly, okay? And we're pushing into that foot to keep our balance. Then we try and bring the hips forward. If you're tight in the hips, they will start to creep this way. We're trying to bring them back. Again, tailbone tucked in, shoulders back. We're going to breathe in as we lift, and then breathe out and just very gently tip. So your right hand to the back of the right leg and your left arm up. Now, again, if it's uncomfortable to have this arm up, place your hand in the lower back. So we're still keeping the shoulder back. If you want to, you can come down further, but I want you to keep that straight line down your body. This shoulder is back, this hip is back. So you're better to be upright and open than to come down too far and be forward and not have the stretch. Fair. He's trying to eat a salt candle now. That'll make him thirsty. So we're rolling the rib cage back. Tailbone. He's gone off with the candle, but I'll let that go. Breathe, everybody breathe. And then we're just going to breathe in as we lift. Feet go forward, breathe out, relax your arms. Bend the knees, tuck the tailbone in and fold. Just trying to let me know that you've got a candle and really lovely to taste it. Get it, get it, get it. Right, so then your left leg out to the side. Rotate from the hips, the whole of the leg turns. Right heel back. That's in, shoulders are back. So we're going to breathe in a left, and then breathe down, just very gently tip. Left hand to the back of the left leg, right arm up. Again, if you prefer, keep the arm down, but back into the back, lower back, so the shoulder stays back. I've said back a lot of times this end. You can take it further if you want to, if you're not really feeling a stretch, as long as you're not tipping forward. Okay, so tailbone is in. If it's comfortable, you can look up to your hand. If not, just look forward. Try and soften that shoulder. Don't reach up. Keep the shoulder down, even though your arm is up. Use that out breath to release tension. This video might have to be on my personal page, not the yoga page, with the madness of Fen. Okay, now we're going to breathe in, lift back up, turn the feet forward. Now from the hips, we're going to breathe out and relax down. And bend your knees if you need to. So again, don't worry if you're not coming far. If you're really tight, you might just be here, but relax there, okay? So allow yourself just to drop down. Don't worry about where you are, and just take some deep breaths. And then bring your hands to the front of your thighs. So we're going to squat down first, so you bend the knees, drop the hips. We lift the head. So if you've got low blood pressure, you shouldn't be coming up too quickly, okay? We're going to press into the feet using our legs, not our back, and then breathe. And as we lift back up, breathe out, roll the shoulders, and the other way. And then just step back in, feet forward, roll the shoulders back and down, tuck the tailbone in, soften the knees, close your eyes. Lengthen your spine, so feel that you're being lifted from the top of your head, but the shoulders are soft. Take some deep breaths and really feel that sense of letting go as you breathe out. And feel rooted and grounded to the earth, to the soles of your feet. And then just drop your chin down to your chest, open your eyes, lift the head back up. Thank you very much, everybody. That was a very quick taster. It was slight madness with Fen involved. It's not always like that. He'd like to know what else he's got now that he needs chasing for. So we have 2 yoga sessions coming up for beginners. An online one next Thursday, 30th of July. It's not for dogs. 10:30 to 11:30. And then a real life one here in the yoga hut without Fen. On the 5th of August, a Wednesday, 12:30 to 1:30. Only 4 spaces available to be in here. As many as you like online. If you choose to do it online, it doesn't have to be live. I can send you the recording of it after, and you can all have it after anyway. That's available for 1 week. But if you prefer an evening, let me know. It's nice to do it live because we feel like we're doing it together, which I really like the live sessions. Any questions, let me know. I'm going to watch it back and see just how mad it was with Fen, who's now trying to eat another cushion. So I hope that was useful. I hope that might tempt you in a little bit. And when we do the hour session, you will always finish with a 10-minute or so relaxation at the end, so you can unwind and just chill out and get a bit of the mindfulness in there as well. So thanks for putting up with the madness, and see you soon.